HvZ may be upon us. I don't know if it is. I don't know if it isn't. I've heard a lot of talk I can't really talk about. It might be. So, I want to do this. I hear they're trying to organize an HvZ game for Camarillo. Maybe Oxnard, maybe San Diego. Don't know. Okay. But they're going to do a game. Of course, as everybody knows, my MO blaster is the Super Veloce. The first HvZ I ran with a super retaliator. That's my term for a 5 kilogram Orange Modworks kit retaliator with my usual shits and giggles tricks, including the pulled barrel. I scored hits up to 140 feet in that game with that blaster. Mind you, with that blaster, I scored 13 hits, and with the Fire Strike I scored 26 hits because we were in a trench war and I just needed to pick up ammo real quick and my magazines were out of ammo. So I got that. So my recommendations for HvZ. Basically, you're a stage 2 kit. Orange Modworks. Excellent. With stage 2, in my opinion, it can probably run your standard plunger, your plunger catch. But if you really have to have metal, get the stage 1 as well. Okay, but make sure you have at least 5 kilograms of spring. I recommend more, like 9, and I have recommended to Orange Modworks that they should really just sell the stage 2 kit, the metal trigger catch, and the 7 kilogram spring, all as one kit, like the stage 2 plus Unleash kit, for people that want the power of the stage 3 and want the metal catch, but don't want the stage 3, because the stage 3 is nice, but it is a little harder to use if you're not used to steel breech blasters. It is a little harder to use. There is a nice thing about open breech where, and I'll demonstrate this with this Crimson Red Recon. When the magazine doesn't drop out of you when you run out of ammo, but I was empty. See, there is a nice thing about that simplicity, where you could just keep this. I think it's got the mid-prime lock in it. But I kept this stock because it's a, it's a Crimson Red Recon, Don't see many of those around. Okay, so, that's a good thing to roll with. Your messengers are going to be great blasters. They're going to be awesome. I think a messenger is really good. A triad and a messenger, you got your XD triad, that's probably going to do about 60 flat, I would say. And of course your Kush darts, really good. But I think that the XT triad, and I haven't tried it yet, if you're not modding, might be better than Messenger. The real question about HvZ, because a lot of HvZ people play with Recons and Raiders, Mavericks, undimensional blaster, excuse me. The nice thing, they play with those kind of blasters, okay? So what you have to ask yourself before picking an HvZ blaster is, am I going to mod it? Am I not going to mod it? And if I do mod it, how far can I get? Your normal strifes can take just a voltage increase, and you just take out the thermistor at the very end of, you take out the ceramic thing at the very end of the battery catch. That makes it so you can probably do about 85 million flat if you throw 3 trust fires in there. Trust fires are good. Ultra fires suck. Don't go with them, and try to get unprotected lithium batteries. Unprotected. Your lithium ferrite phosphates are good. Make sure you run 4 of them to do 12.8 volts. And lithium ferrite phosphates are really made to run 12.8 volts, even with a bunch of cells by standard. They run the best that way. And also, remember that that demolisher is out. Now that's a good thing, because in a lot of HvZs, a rocket is a shield buster, and sometimes your alpha zombies will have shields. I know Shield people have caused me trouble in HvZ for the simple reason that I'm a sniper, for the most part, or a long-range shooter. Better. There's no real snipers in Nerf, okay? I mean, that's the truth. No one's going to hit you from over 200 yards. But we're getting there. Lion Davis is getting there. Josh Mutzenberg is getting there, okay? Australia's getting there. Very easy. But not in HvZ. So, a Demolisher is good, but you got one little disadvantage with the Demolisher. They cannot use Kush darts. Very sad. Very sad. You can't use Kush darts. It won't load. The way they did their flywheel, it won't load. Okay? Jolts is backup? No. Triads. Always triads. If you have to fit an extra blaster in your pocket, make it a triad. Not a reflex, not a jolt. Okay? Fire Strike, why do I shoot a Fire Strike as a backup? One, mine's modded. If I'm going unmodded, I'd go Triad. Strong Arms, even out of the box, are excellent blasters to use in an HvZ. And the reason is because out of the box they have very good range. If you mod them, no. If you're going to mod them, a 7 kilogram spring should work. If you're going to go with the kit, now that they've worked out all the issues, Orange Modworks kit for that is good as well. You can get a strong arm, Orange Modworks, for $30 right now. And we got to pay for shipping, of course, $30. I highly suggest going for it, since the Fire Strike kit that I'm going to get for my Ultra matches that I'm remaking this month, if they're out by then, who knows, is also $30. It's pretty good. Of course, I can't use an Ultra match in HvZ. Too powerful. Too powerful. You've got what other blasters? A Rampage is good, but take out the mid-prime lock, file that shit down. If you want to get the Rampage Unleashed kit, go for that. I hear they're decent, but they're not the greatest. And Alpha Trooper's good, but they don't make them anymore. Elite Alpha Trooper is good, but they don't really make them anymore. Slam mode, you know, for a while, Slam mode was great. Back when I started playing Nerf again in 2008, 2009, 2010, you had, I had 3 modded Raiders, okay? One of them was a clear series, and the other two were just your standard Raiders, but I had modded them. Before I started using better springs and this and that, I just basically did a compression gasket on them and got them to shoot about 90 yards. I'd say I was doing about 50-60 flat. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. This was around the time, of course, that I was using the 177 carbine, which has only showed its ugly face in one battle. In any of the meets I went, and that was the first school meet I ever went to. The one where Bradley Mathis, who was Roboman, and Alex Madden showed up. Okay, that was when my R-Spec was having issues because it was grainy and red and everything else. Trying to think what else. Do I think a Rhino fire is going to be good for HvZ? No. Too heavy, too little rate of fire. Sure, you got 50 rounds. We're going to see a lot of people get popped with these things. But when you got a running gun, you need to conserve on weight. Okay? Forget your banana mags, just store flat mags. Okay? Just your flat 18s, your flat 12s, that's it. And get a nice backpack to store a bunch of them. The more mags, the more ammo you have, the better. Okay? Unless you're a freaking sniper like me, just use 2 starts. You're not going to find all your elite darts. Now, of course, I'm going to have to buy $60, $70 worth of elite darts. And why? Because I'm a sniper. People are expecting me that when there's a horde of zombies coming and they're 150 feet away, that at 120, I start unloading. They're going to be expecting me to do that. So, this is the thing about being a legend, is that you have to live up to stuff like that. It's not going to be cheap, okay? And can I hit people from 120 yards? Easy. I've hit people 140s, manageably difficult. 100's pretty easy. With enough shots, it's just the law of averages. pretty soon you aim your darts in the same general direction, in the same place, and you're going to hit them. And a Nerf dart is not as, how would you say, accurate as most other dart systems. But it is doable. It is doable. If you got good rate of fire, it is doable. Do I recommend it for most people? No, not unless you battle and do it a bunch. But I have a good feeling this year I'm going to be all pistols for the most part. I'm going to be mostly pistols. I'm going to be mostly trying to hit people at 80 flat. Magnus, is it any good? Yeah. It matters what they count for, really. If your HvZ counts them as one-hit kills, okay, where you get more time if you hit them with a Magnus, or you take down a shield if you hit them with Magnus, great. If they're just like any other darts, don't bother. Don't bother, okay? If you do get a Magnus, take apart your broken Stampede, take the mainspring out, and coil that with that one spring. That will get you 80-85 flat with new Magnus darts. But once they start wearing out, the range will go down immensely. Okay? The way you want to load your Magnus darts is you want the two little holes on the two sides of your blaster. So when you're loading it, your two holes are like this, you're putting it in like that, and going like that. And you're loading it so the two holes like that. That way it's not going wanky when it fires. Okay? When you're loading, if you can put this much care into it, when you're loading your magazines for your blasters, and if you're using elite darts, make sure the hole is either on the top or on the bottom. And this will make it so it goes straighter. It does help. It does help. This is one of the secrets I've been using for years, and I don't really tell many people about it. It's one reason I'm untagged. Since 2012, I'm untagged. I mean, shit, man. I mean, a zombie hasn't even tagged me. I mean, there was one guy. His name is Felix. I don't want to tell you what we call him. It's a bad high school name, okay? But at the end of the second to last HvZ I went to, he tried to tackle me. Fortunately, I was 10 feet into the zone, but I just picked up the gun. Like, what are you doing? I threw him to the ground. I was so mad. And I'm sorry, but kid, man, try to tackle me in the safe zone. That's just asking for a fight, you know?